How's it going, everyone? 2024 is looking to be a fantastic year for RPG fans, and that's what I want to highlight in this video. If you are a fan of your non-Japanese RPGs, which we talk about ad nauseum on this channel, I've got you covered. Coming to PlayStation 5 is a lot of big titles later this year, so let's talk about them. And let's go over some of the big ones. Kicking things off, we do have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. If you've been following our channel for a while, you know that I always talk up Kingdom Come Deliverance. I thought that was a great historical action RPG, and now we have the direct sequel. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a thrilling action RPG set amid the chaos of a civil war in 15th century Bohemia. You are a Henry, an ordinary man doing extraordinary things, caught in a gripping tale of revenge, betrayal, and discovery as he embarks on an epic journey from a humble blacksmith's forge to the court of kings as he searches for purpose in this beautiful but brutal medieval world. From bustling city streets to lush forests, discover an open-world medieval Europe through an unforgettable adventure filled with action, thrill, and wonder. Live life through the eyes and actions of Henry, a young man on a quest to avenge his murdered parents. His story, illustrated with over 5 hours of stunning cinematics, takes him from aspiring warrior to rebel, crossing paths with a charismatic cast of characters and an unforgettable set of adventures as he goes up against King of Hungary, Sigismund the Red Fox, and his fearsome allies. A true RPG. Experience your actions, shape Henry's destiny, and how the world will react to him. Live a life medieval. This stunningly authentic rendition of 15th century Bohemia allows you to experience this fascinating setting like never before. Get lost in a sprawling city, engage with peasants, and talk with nobles while exploring a vast, rich countryside with taverns, bathhouses, castles, and more. And it'll feature authentic first-person combat. All of that is coming with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 later in 2024. Next up, another notable sequel, we have GreedFall 2, The Dying World. You know, as far as RPG sequels I was expecting to see, wasn't convinced that we'd get a follow-up to GreedFall, but we are getting exactly that with GreedFall 2, The Dying World, coming from Spiders. And I often talk about how Spiders is one of the more underrated RPG development studios. Not to say that their games are absolute blowaway and their games are top tier, but I feel like they've been getting progressively better and better with each of their outings. I thought Steel Rising was an interesting game, and GreedFall I genuinely thought was a pretty good RPG. Now we have GreedFall 2, a game that's building upon the successes of the first one, and in this one, the story does start 3 years before the events of the first game. Experience the unique world of GreedFall again by exploring the old continent, travel across new landscapes, the city of stars of the bridge aligns to the shores, and uncover the secrets of these ancient lands. Create your own character and find allies to join your team throughout. GreedFall 2, The Dying World will be coming out later this year. Next up, we have one game that's been long anticipated. Honestly, I was a little bit skeptical that it would ever see the light of day, but it's dropping in August. We have Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong is an action RPG rooted in Chinese mythology. You shall set out as the destined one to venture in the challenges and marvels ahead, to uncover the obscure truth beneath the veil of glorious legend from the past. From a visual standpoint, this is one of the most remarkable games that you are going to see this generation. It looks tremendous from a technical standpoint, a world unseen where new sights rise with every stride. Enter a fascinating realm filled with the wonders and discoveries of ancient Chinese mythology. As the destined one, you shall venture through the breathtaking landscapes, confront mighty foes, old and new, heroic monkey, might and fame, adversaries rise to test his name. One of the major highlights of the journey to the west is the diverse cast of adversaries, each with their own unique strengths. As the destined one, you shall encounter powerful foes and worthy rivals throughout your journey. Fearlessly engage them in epic battles where surrender is not an option. Temper your mastery of varied spells. Spells unbound, knowledge's flight, and infinite abilities take their height. Spells, transformation, and magic vessels in all manifestations, complementary yet adversarial, have long been iconic elements of Chinese mythology. As the destined one, aside from mastering various staff techniques, you can also freely combine different abilities, spells, weapons, and equipment to find winning strategies that best suit your combat style and discover heartfelt tales behind every facade. Within beings of every kind lies the story of life. Beneath the ferocity and craftiness of your foes lies an engaging tapestry of their origins, personalities, and motivations waiting to be revealed. As the destined one, you will uncover the stories behind a variety of characters, delving beyond your battles with them to taste the love and hate, greed, and fury they once had still carry with them. Black Myth Wukong is finally seeing its release on August the 20th. Next up, coming to PlayStation 5, we have Darkest Dungeon 2. Darkest Dungeon 2 is a roguelike road trip of the damned. Form a party, equip your stagecoach, and set off across the decaying landscape on a last gasp quest to avert the apocalypse. The greatest danger you face, however, may come within. A darker fantasy RPG, Darkest Dungeon 1 was a game a lot of people got into, and now Darkest Dungeon 2 will finally be coming to PlayStation 5 later this year. Next up, as far as the aforementioned games, they're a little bit darker in tone and will feature mature stories. However, the next one is accessible to all ages. Cat Quest 3. Yes, the third entry in the Cat Quest franchise. In Cat Quest 3, you play as a privateer, or how they describe it, a little bit cat-themed, in a freely explorable 2.5D open world swarming with pirates. You can sail the seas in your ship or for treasures galore, but prepare for peril as the Pirate King aims to hunt you down. An incredibly charming RPG will be coming with Cat Quest. Don't expect anything too serious in tone, but incredible from a visual standpoint, and its charm cannot be understated. Cat Quest 3 is scheduled for a release on August the 8th. Next up, a brand new Souls-like action RPG. We have Enotria The Last Song. Enotria The Last Song is a Souls-like set in a beautiful sunlit world inspired by Italian folklore where the brightest sun casts the darkest shadow, where unique role-altering masks face formidable foes and alter reality with the power of a door to unravel the secrets of Enotria. From a visual standpoint, looks quite good. We'll see how Enotria The Last Song turns out as it's scheduled for a release on August 21st. Next up, we have Earthlock 2. Explore and transform the sands into an oasis full of life. Turn your trusty desert ship into your mobile base of operations and instill fear into your enemies. Rise to become the most formidable explorer of Umbra. Earthlock 2 is scheduled for a release later in 2024. Next up, we have Lords of Ravage, a dark fantasy RPG adventure. Become the boss, battling heroes, command various leaders, create powerful decks, fight exciting battles, grow your influence, and enjoy engaging turn-based gameplay. You are the final boss. Deal with dangerous heroes, slowly exhausting their strength before the inevitable fight with their final boss, you. 3 lords with unique playstyles, mechanics, and factions. Send limitless hordes of minions, build a small elite squad, shower enemies with curses, or deal personally with uninvited guests. Diverse enemies with unique mechanics, expand your influence, thoughtful and addictive gameplay, replayability, and stunning visuals to boot. Lords of Ravage is scheduled for release in 2024. Next up, we have Paper Animal RPG. Paper Animal RPG is a cute roguelike game where you can explore a colorful world, fight scary enemies, and relax with your friends at campfire. This is another one of those more charming RPGs. A dungeon crawling RPG, Paper Animal RPG, drops later this year. Next up, Tales of Iron was one of the surprisingly great action RPGs, and now we have the direct sequel, Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. Embark upon a vast snow-ravaged kingdom in Tales of Iron 2, sequel to the critically acclaimed action RPG, as Ario, heir to the Warden of the Waste, adventure through harsh northern lands, home to giant beasts and ragtag bandits in an epic quest to overcome an ancient blood-starved evil. Tales of Iron 1 was recently a PlayStation Plus title. You guys probably have it in your library. If you've yet to play it, go check it out. A challenging action RPG to come with Tales of Iron 2. Explore a vast and treacherous, snow-ravaged kingdom, master brutal Souls-like combat with dodge rolls, parry bashes, and gruesome execution. Discover a compelling story, overcome savage boss fights against the ferocious leaders of the Darkwind, hunt down giant beasts for rare resources with which to craft devastating equipment, customize your attack style, personalize your appearance, counter a range of curious companions among the many northern factions, construct and upgrade your own settlement, and complete side hunts to earn additional gold on the side. Tales of Iron 2 is scheduled for a release later in 2024. Next up, the Thaumaturge will be coming to PlayStation 5. I actually played the Thaumaturge as a part of its PC release, dropped back in March. And from a writing standpoint and ambiance standpoint, the game is incredibly compelling. I think the setting is fantastic. There are some issues here and there with the game for sure. The gameplay isn't incredible or anything like that, but it's a fine turn-based combat system. I think a lot of people will find fascination with the setting, the thematics, and things of that nature. The Thaumaturge is scheduled for release on PlayStation 5 later this year. Next up, we have Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, a game that's been in early access for a little while on PC, is going to be seeing its full release later this year. It's a full 3D remake of the first game in the legendary Wizardry series of RPGs. The first party-based RPG video game ever released, Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, was a direct inspiration to series like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Dungeon crawling deluxe, craft your own party of adventurers and head into the labyrinth at the behest of the Mad Overlord. Commitment to accuracy. It's built directly on top of the original 1981 game code and a challenge without hassle. While the well-known difficulty of the enemies has not been altered, quality of life improvements have been added in every area and a legend reborn. Wizardry Proving Grounds is scheduled for release later in 2024. Next up, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. This is an RPG I think everybody should have on their radar. From independent game studio A4, makers of Ashen, comes an explosive Souls-light where gods and guns collide in a battle for the future of humanity. An action RPG, a unique companionship. Step into the boots of Norvenic, an elite member of the Coalition Army, joined by Enki, a mysterious fox-like companion in their quest for vengeance against the gods. An explosive Souls-like, Flintlock retains elements of the Souls-like genre and infuses it with a rapid mobility, resulting in a dynamic and explosive combat system. Weave in melee, gunpowder, and magic in rhythmic battles where combos chain together to create a deadly dance. And a world scarred by the gods unleash upon the world. The vengeful gods are on a rampage, intent on causing chaos and the downfall of mankind. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn is scheduled for a release Q3 of 2024. Next up, we have Astor, Blade of the Monolith. Rip through hordes of enemies with fury and style in this fast-paced action RPG. Play as Astor, a young warrior determined to unveil the secrets behind his creator's unforeseen demise. Wield an arsenal of runic weapons to hunt down the evil haunting the planet and save it from impending doom. Astor, Blade of Monolith is scheduled to drop on May 30th. Next up, while this is just an expansion, man, it might be the biggest release of the entire year. That is, of course, the major expansion to Elden Ring with Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. The Shadow of the Erdtree expansion features an all-new story set in the Land of Shadow, imbued with mystery, perilous dungeons, and new enemies, weapons, and equipment. Discover uncharted territories, face formidable adversaries, and revel in the satisfying triumph of victory. Dive into the riveting interplay of characters where drama and intrigue intertwine that create an immersive experience to savor and enjoy. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree will be a $40 expansion. If you're one of the 3 people on planet Earth that have yet to try out Elden Ring, there will be an Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree edition that includes both the base game as well as the expansion that will be $80, so keep that in mind. Elden Ring is one of those games that is really held up in price, but nevertheless, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree will be dropping on June 21st. Next up, another major expansion to a long-running MMORPG that has made quite the turnaround. The Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road is dropping in June. A forgotten Daedric prince has returned, bringing chaos. Explore a new zone and defend the city, now beset by a dangerous Daedric cult and the jungles of Valenwood. Customize your skills like never before, along with the new systems introduced. Gold Road is a brand new Elder Scrolls story. For the first time in Elder Scrolls Online, a new Daedric prince walks a Tamriel, forgotten to even her most devout followers. She has returned. Why has she returned now, and what are her followers' plan for Westweld? Embark on an adventure to preserve reality before the threads of fate unravel in its wake. Explore a new zone, venture into an Imperial region last seen in Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, now threatened by the encroaching Valenwood jungle and Daedric incursions. Delve into the heart of magic itself with describing a unique system that allows you to customize your playstyle in new and exciting ways and discover greater adventures. Dive into a challenging new 12-person trial called the Lucent Citadel. Contend with dangerous world events and bosses, immerse yourself in captivating new delves and public dungeons, earn unique in-game rewards, and so much more. All of that and more will be coming with Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road on June the 3rd. And lastly, we have Showa American Story, a brand new RPG and an enthusiastic love letter to the 80s pop culture that features a strong taste of B-movies. Follow Choco's journey of truth and revenge across North America as she grows stronger. From a visual style, the game looks really solid and seems to have some fast-paced action RPG gameplay with some strategic elements as well. A free-flowing and brutal combat style. Players will fight against hordes of zombies and monsters, moving, attacking, and dodging in countless fast-paced combat situations. Get ready to dive into the ocean of ketchup. Showa American Story will be out later this year, and that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of exciting RPGs coming this year. When you look at these RPGs coupled with the JRPGs coming out, man, it's going to be a great time for role-playing game fans because there's a lot of exciting games that are going to be dropping this year. And remember, we're only in May. There are going to be more titles announced. There's going to be more titles that'll be scheduled for this year that we don't even know about. Now, albeit some of these games might get delayed into 25, but I'm sure it'll be offset by the games announced and revealed. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.